Today, we're diving into a payment system from India that is so revolutionary, countries all over the world are trying to figure out how to copy it. It's called UPI, and believe me, it has completely changed the game for how hundreds of millions of people move their money.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You're just trying to send a friend some money, and suddenly you're staring at this form asking for their full name, their 16-digit account number, the bank's name, some obscure IFSC code. It's just clunky. It feels totally out of date.
And this is what I'm talking about. Just look at the difference. On the left, you've got that whole laundry list of details for a traditional bank transfer. And on the right, that's UPI. All of that complexity just boils down to one simple thing, a UPI ID, or even just a phone number. But here's the thing. UPI isn't just another payment app. Not at all. It's better to think of it like a new kind of digital public highway. It's a foundational infrastructure that anyone can build on top of, and that simple idea has created a level playing field that's just sparked incredible innovation. So, what is it officially? Well, UPI stands for Unified Payments Interface. It launched way back in 2016. And the three things you really need to remember are real-time, direct bank-to-bank, and mobile app. It was built from the ground up for the world we live in now, for the smartphone in your pocket. This is probably the best analogy for how it works. Think about it. Your UPI ID, which is also called a virtual payment address, or VPA, it works exactly like an email address. You don't need to know what server your friend's email is on, right? You just type in their address and hit send. It's the same idea here. You just need their UPI address, and you can send them money no matter what bank they use. And this is a really important point to get. UPI is not a digital wallet like PayPal or Venmo. Those services often hold your cash in their own separate account. UPI doesn't do that. It's more like a super efficient messaging system. It just tells your bank, hey, send this money directly to this other person's bank. Your money is never held by some third party in the middle. So how on earth does this all happen so fast? I mean, it really does feel like magic. But behind the curtain, it's actually this beautifully choreographed dance between a few key players. So let's pop the hood and take a quick look. In every single UPI transaction, there are basically four main characters. There's you, the user, of course. There's the app on your phone, that's the PSP. Then you have the two banks involved in the transfer. And finally, there's the NPCI, which is kind of like the air traffic controller for the whole system, making sure everything goes to the right place. Okay, so here's the play-by-play, super simplified. You punch in your friend's UPI ID and the amount and hit send. Right away, your app asks for your secret PIN. This is the security check. That request then zips over the network to your bank, which checks your PIN and your balance and gives the thumbs up. And finally, the network tells your friend's bank to credit their account. Boom, you both get a little notification, and the wildest part, this entire process takes about 3 seconds. It's incredible. So when you create a system that's this simple, this secure, and this fast, what happens? Well, the result has been nothing short of a full-blown explosion. The scale of UPI in India is, honestly, it's hard to even wrap your head around. Let's just look at the numbers. First off, the users. More than 350 million people are actively using UPI. Just to put that into perspective for you, that's more than the entire population of the United States. Now, what about volume? This is where it gets really mind-boggling. The system handles nearly 15 times billion transactions every single month. That number is just staggering. And this chart really shows you how deeply embedded UPI has become in daily life. We're talking about more than 443 million transactions every single day. This isn't just for big purchases. This is for everything from buying a cup of tea from a street vendor to paying your rent. It's just the default. And what's really cool is this isn't a monopoly. Because the system is an open platform, it's created this intense competition. Sure, you have big players like PhonePe with a huge slice of the pie, but there's a whole ecosystem of other apps all competing on those same rails. And that competition, that's what drives better features and keeps costs low for everyone. So how does this stack up against systems we might be more familiar with? Well, this chart says it all. Unlike wallet systems like PayPal or Venmo, UPI doesn't hold your money, and its transfers are genuinely real-time. The closest thing in the US is probably Zelle, but the key difference is that UPI was designed from day one to be a universal, open network for an entire country. Now, with success like that, you can bet the rest of the world has been taking notes. UPI is now being seriously looked at as a model, a blueprint for how to build modern, inclusive payment systems anywhere. So, what was their secret? Well, it wasn't really one single thing. It was more like this perfect mix of smart decisions. It was led by the industry, but it had powerful backing from the government. It was designed as a low-cost public utility, not some for-profit venture. And it was all built step by step, using open standards, with a regulator that knew when to push the gas and when to tap the brakes. And this story is far from over. UPI is actually going global. It's already accepted in several countries, and a whole lot more are lining up to adopt it. This tech is starting to change payments way beyond where it started. And that really brings us to the final and maybe the most exciting question. UPI has created these open, secure, and instant rails for money. But what happens when you apply that same idea to other things? What about health data, or your digital identity, or educational records? The story of UPI might just be chapter 1 in a much bigger revolution in digital public infrastructure.